So we talk a lot about brand strategy here at Butler Branding, and as such, we get a lot of questions on the channel. And so I just thought it'd be a good, helpful thing to answer a couple of the questions that have come in regarding brand strategy. So the first question is, how do you get started as a strategist? I don't know if there's like a monolithic answer to this. So I could just give you kind of my experience and a few things that I suggest. I am not formally trained, and so this probably might sound stupid to someone who has a college degree, but this is just what has worked for us. I started out as just a creative, and so we were doing design work, we were doing some marketing, but again, we were just kind of figuring things out as we went. Nobody came to us for strategy. We were just doing really basic logos for like 200 bucks. We were doing websites that were super cheap. We were barely making it. And then I came across this concept of brand strategy, and I fell in love with it. It was actually solving problems through design, and in order to do that correctly, you had to have a robust strategy driving the creative. And so I didn't see it primarily as a means to make more money or anything like that. I just saw it as a way to solve different kinds of problems, the problems that I was more interested in solving. And so that's why I started the journey on becoming a strategist. Was I actually fell in love with the concept of learning how to solve complex problems. And so I guess that would be like the first tip, is just make sure that that's something you want to do. There's people that work for me as a creative to where they don't want to live there. They want to do design work and be given the direction and just be creative in their own way, but not actually solving problems as a strategist would. So just make sure, because I know like right now it's really popular in the creative community to where everybody's calling themselves a brand strategist, and it's completely fine if that's not who you are. Just know who you are and stay in that lane. So just the first step is really determine if that's something you want to do. One of the characteristics of a strategist is the ability to ask the right questions. And so I would start asking yourself the right questions and really start practicing strategy on yourself. What I did was I filled up my toolbox with as many tools as I possibly could. I bought a course on strategy from the future. It was called Core, and that was really the catalyst that started me on my journey to becoming a strategist. I've read things like Building a Story Brand from Donald Miller that talks about how to do messaging strategy. I've purchased courses from Sagi Haviv on how to do logo design strategy. And so I'm always learning about different aspects of strategy and filling my own toolbox. And when we first started, we conducted a strategy session on ourselves. And so that would be the next step. So first step is like determine, is this really what you want to do? Is this how you're driven? The second step is just practice on yourself after you've filled up your toolbox with some different resources. And after you practice on yourself, maybe practice on some existing clients, some clients that maybe you have an already existing relationship with, a good relationship. If you want to offer it as a free service just to test it out, you could do that. I would definitely try to charge for it. And then practice it with new clients. But when you practice, you don't want to come across as though this is something you're practicing, this is something you're just getting, you're learning. You want to come in with some level of expertise. And there's this imposter syndrome that everybody has, right? Who am I? I'm not qualified. Why is anybody gonna listen to me? I'm not like these strategists over here. And you compare yourself to other people who are these like phenomenal rock star strategists. And you don't need to do that. You need to compare yourself to who you were before. And if your clients are coming to you to solve some sort of creative problem, that means they don't have the tools that you may have to be able to solve their problems. So as long as you know more than the people that you're helping, then you're going to be seen as an expert in whatever it is you're doing. And so just build up a little confidence in presenting how you're doing strategy with clients. So test it on yourself first, test it with some existing clients, and then just start testing it with new clients. The very first time I did strategy and sold it was the very first time I ever did it, right? Everybody has a starting point. And so just start getting out there and start doing it, start practicing. And I guess the last tip would be to always evolve your process. Don't think that you're gonna learn to be a strategist by buying one framework and there you go, I'm just gonna follow that framework. always add to your creative toolbox because you're gonna change things that are applicable to you and your process, might not be applicable to the person you've learned from. And then you might come into a situation to where you need to strategize maybe a little bit differently than you have before. And so I would just to really encourage you to continue to change and always reform your strategic process, and that's in regards to how you conduct discovery sessions and also how you present them and deliver them over to your client. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Make sure this content gets out to more people. And if you are a creative entrepreneur and you're looking to level up, maybe you feel stuck, learn from my mistakes. At agency.butlerbranding.com, we have a free webinar that talks about everything I've learned in scaling Butler Branding since we started in 2012. I'm talking about everything I've learned from brand positioning, marketing, sales, strategy, and project management. So learn to level up for free at agency.butlerbranding.com.